Hello YouTube, W&J's Handy Dad here, and today I'm going to show you how to turn your detail station from an ugly mess like this. Now when I bought this place, there was just the one set of hoses right there, and I went ahead and cut the pipe and added this little corner piece here, bringing it over here because this is where I plan to do the auto detailing. But whether it was hooked up there or there, always dealing with this mess of a hose, and that thing does not like to wind up, and even when it does, it starts to unwind. But even worse than that, it leaks no matter what you do. You see I've got a washer in there and RTV, and it still leaks, and you just can't crank them down tight enough. When you're going metal fittings onto plastic, they just don't work. So we're going to change that out. This is what I got to replace that. It's basically an expandable hose. So you see the hose only takes up this much room, but it expands up to 50 feet, which is going to be more than enough for where I'm detailing the cars at. And you see it comes with some, looks like pretty decent quality metallic fittings. And it has a shut off at the end of the hose, so even if you didn't have a nozzle on the end, you could always shut the water off there instead of having to go back to the hose bib to do it. And this set comes with a couple of accessories. It comes with the nozzle, and you know, it looks like it's a pretty decent quality nozzle. Certainly for a free one, it's got a nice comfortable rubberized grip there, and of course a whole bunch of different settings to accommodate pretty much anything you're wanting to do. You know, I typically fill my buckets with the soaker setting, and then I will rotate washing the vehicle depending on where I'm washing, from the jet, the cone, or the shower typically. Sometimes I'll even hit flat or full, or even center. I typically don't use mist unless I'm misting myself off. Came with some extra washers, which is always a nice touch. Teflon tape to seal it up so it doesn't leak. And it looks like some sort of hose hanger probably. I'll have to figure out how this works. I don't know, maybe you mount it to the wall and then hang the hose over there. But it's also got like a hand grip there, so we'll figure out how they want you to use that or what the various ways are. Removing this is the easy part. You just take and unscrew this. And then I have to unscrew those. I have two screws. Then I mounted this to the concrete, and then I can pull this away and go put it somewhere else. With it unbolted from the ground, take this and go store it. I know that looks really stupid right now, but the tape is not permanent. I just put that up there to hold it while the E6000 dries. I'll probably end up screwing in a mounting bracket. Basically did this kind of temporary to see if I liked it here, and so far I am liking it, so it's going to become permanent. The other thing that I tried out is this Mueller. It basically goes from off to full blast with just a quarter turn. So I'm really liking that. Instead of standing here cranking the knob to get it to come on, you just quarter turn and it's full blast, ready to go. And you see I've wrapped the threads with some Teflon tape and ready to install the hose. Just like any other hose, make sure you have a washer in there, and then just thread that on. And I typically say get it on there pretty tight so that you don't get leaks. They say the first time you use it to leave it shut off on the end and fill it up and it'll expand. So it moves like a snake. It looks like a snake too. That's really creepy. You could definitely freak some people out at night with that. It should have expanded to 3 times its size, or to approximately 51 feet. This is a 40 by 40 wash bay. As you see, I can reach that hose to anywhere I need to wash a vehicle. So I'm definitely going to say yes, that it is 51 feet. And I wrap this with Teflon tape and I'll put their nozzle on, and then we're going to let the water flow and see what we get. So we'll open this valve here. So there's center, full, flat, shower, cone, jet, soaker, angle, mist. Back to center. So center looks like that's a good car washing spray right there. And now that's full power here. So a little bit more pressure coming through now with it full power than it was before. I had about halfway. So they say not to leave this with pressure in it. So remember, whenever you turn off water, you always want everything open past where you're shutting off. So if I'm shutting it off here, then I would just open this up and close that valve. But I need to let all the pressure out of the hose, so it's got to be flowing when I shut it off. And we can see the hose is shrinking. I'm not pulling it, it's moving on its own. So now that's all the space that takes. A lot less real estate than when I had that big hose caddy there. But again, just to give you some plumbing advice that'll save you costly repairs, always have everything beyond what you're shutting off open. So in other words, if I wanted to shut that valve, then that and everything beyond it needs to be open and flowing. Otherwise you can break the valve in there and then it would just basically never fully shut off. But I'm leaving that one open, shut off there. So all those had to be open and no pressure on them. Otherwise I could damage that valve. Hopefully that makes sense. That's a lesson I learned the hard way, shutting off the water heater valve without running the hot water first. And so it creates just enough damage to the valve to where if I shut off the valve to the water heater now, it has a drip. So that's a future project for me to solder in a new one, I guess. I went ahead and just hung this up with a self-tapping screw. Just kind of wound it up. Like I said, there's not any instructions on how they want you to use that piece. It looks like it's got several ways that you could maneuver it, but for now I'm going to leave it like that and see how that's holding up. And like I said, I'm really loving the fact that that doesn't take up hardly any space over here. So hope the video was helpful. Appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and please tell your friends about my channel. Thank you very much.